y'all? Welcome to R&D with Kappa and WallE. I'm your host, WallE, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet. And with me, as always, is the person who will, without a doubt, crack that perfect pull in their legendary pack. It is Kappa. Kappa, how are you?
We're back.
We are so back.
We are. It's scary how back we are.
It's not even just that we're back. I feel like we're back in a shiny new way.
No front, all
no
back.
No front, all. So this is the energy we're going to be bringing into to this new era of the show. Kappa's on camera. He can now say whatever he wants and make me break. So prepare for that, editors out there.
It's gonna happen. But okay, so we took a short break.
Yeah,
we took a short hiatus.
Yeah.
To figure out what we want to do with this thing. It pretty well received, right? Like I had a lot of fun. You had a lot of fun.
Oh, totally.
Everyone who listened. No one told me they didn't have fun, so that means everyone
said
every
positive
single person
things about us.
Yes, 1000%. So we wanted to polish it up a little bit, get in the tank. We've been promoting it for the past several months at this point. By the time this comes out, and we now have like a nice polished version of format.
Also, we should shout out to Daddy One Shot Network. For giving us a place to do this at. Thank you, Daddy One Shot, for giving us a chance.
OSN. You will not live to regret it.
You will not live to regret this one bit. That being said, we have a special guest today. We do have a special guest. This person is a good pal of ours. John, also known as Ryomasa, on everywhere on social media. How are you doing today?
Well, that's actually a lot less true nowadays. I mostly I left for the most part. Like,
I was gonna say,
I have them all. Been doing good. I actually I made a really intentional decision to be like, I'm turning off notifications and I'll look at you when I look at you.
You sound good. For those of you that are editing this, you look good. I want everyone to agree with that. Like,
you look
seriously,
very healthy.
Thank you. Yeah. It turns out when you're not constantly looking at Twitter, you feel better. Wild, I know.
It's the funny thing is, it's because in the early parts of our friendship, between you and Kappa, both of you, the early parts of our friendship is that it was nothing but Twitter interactions. That is genuinely how we first all met.
I think it was anime gifs on TTRPG memes.
Something
that was
like
our entire friendship for like a year.
And I think that's kind of like the basis of it, of our friendship, anime gifs and TTRPG.
Yeah, that and I think one martial arts panel. That was like how we started. That was it.
That was a big a gateway into how we ended up knowing each other. And I think from there we realized we have our very unique interests align with each other. Like the fact that we talked about martial arts, we were on a martial arts panel, but it was even after the martial arts panel was over, we kept on talking about how much we love the choreography in various movies, and we talked about our very unique gripes with certain movies and their choreography choices, even into animation of
you can say the Bourne trilogy. You can just say it out loud.
Look,
shaky cam, we're coming for you.
It's between the shaky cam and the fact they're like, you know what? Let's choreograph MMA moves because everyone believes that looks good on camera. Jumping forward thrust kick, that looks great on camera.
I mean, it does look good on camera if the people you've got know what they're doing. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is there are the shaky cam thing and the fast jump cuts are to hide people who aren't as good looking on camera doing the techniques, right? Because if you have people who know what they're doing, you can do longer shots, you can do wider shots.
The smoke and mirrors of it all just makes it feel like it's about the feeling of being in a fight as opposed to witnessing a fight, right?
Yeah, I need to know where people are in space more than I need to know they got kicked in the stomach, right? That's actually more important of being able to piece together the narrative of what I'm seeing on the screen.
Do you think like a lot of like I'm not even touching into martial arts movie. I'm just talking about fight scenes in general,
sure.
and all across the board in action movies. Do you think they are getting better at telling stories that they have in the past?
I mean, yes, and I think that's because they're bringing in people who know what they're doing, right? Like, I mean, okay, so like, I will forever have a bias in my heart for Shang-Chi, right? But that's because Chris Cohen is on it, and like,
yeah,
I know I followed that guy from the 1,000 Pounds like company days, from when he was just him doing filmography with a bunch of stunt people, and like, you can tell. This sounds so derogatory. You can tell the man watches anime, right? Like.
You can tell he's a weeb.
Like, you can tell he's a weeb, right?
But like, he's a freaking nerd.
Yeah, but because of that, like, he's got the action language of that style down, and like, it's the closest thing you get to like live action anime done well is what he's putting out, either from his own movies or what he's doing kind of on the side.
Yeah,
so that's not true. Fiction is getting really close nowadays, but like, that's that's the spiritual successor to that, as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah, Mr. Cohen has a really great way of translating what you see in anime and making it like translating that into a motions and physicality that wouldn't look awkward when performed by a real human being.
I will say that he did what Michael B. Jordan tried to do in Creed 3.
Didn't miss that movie.
Okay, so like Michael B. Jordan, bless his heart, creative dude. The guy can act. The guy can do a lot of things. And when he was producing Creed 3, he was really adamantly talking about how much he loves anime, specifically Naruto, specifically the fight between Naruto and Sasuke. And when you watch even very much the last fight scene in Creed, there are so many anime moments that if it was done a little bit better, it could have been pulled off. But you watch it and you go like, oh, this dude is a huge nerd when you watch
that's the thing, right? Is like, you get to a point, I think the funniest part for me is like, you can tell where somebody is learning the language of the visual cinema of like an anime like translating anime to live action. But then you can also tell when someone has been doing this since they were 12 on YouTube and have now figured it out, like, and are being given money. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like somebody went out there with their like crappy Sony Handycam and was like, I'm gonna film my friends. And they did it a lot. It was all garbage, but now like they've just put in the time and it's gotten there. Just hilarious. I think it's really cool to see that stuff coming out now. Like, we've got, and like, if you dunk on Michael B. Jordan because of Creed 3, I'm gonna raise you sinners, and you don't have a response to that.
Right? I am not joking on him.
No, you're not. But I'm talking to you, comment section. Okay, right?
Wow.
If you fucking get on that shit, don't, because you know you're wrong. Sinners just came out, and you know it. But I think that's one of the things is like, we've got really people now who are really, really interested in bringing that language to a live action format in a way that isn't just the Dragon Ball movie. You know what I mean? Like, like, people have taken this. It's no longer just about translating anime to live action as like an adaptation. Which is, let's say, mixed success. Let's call it that.
That's very generous.
That is, you're being very polite about it. We only technically had one, so
look, Rurouni Kenshin had a dude with 2 guns, and therefore I give it a little bit of leeway. Okay. But like, but that's me personally. We can get to that later. But I think one of the things that's really cool is it's becoming part of a visual language that is not just attached to anime live action adaptations. It's now like you have things like Shang-Chi, which is more comic book, but anime. And then you have stuff like that, and then literally anything Scott Adkins does any day when he's doing comedy stuff too, like that. What's the movie with Jamie Foxx as a vampire hunter?
Oh my god! Oh gosh!
You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Nut bunnies.
Jamie Foxx Vampire Hunter. Obviously,
yes, that's the movie.
That's it. yeah, perfect.
No,
oh my god, Day Shift. That's
yes, Day Shift. Yes, gosh, that movie was fun.
It's him. It's Scott Adkins and I forget the other guy, but playing 2 Russian brothers doing a kill count on how many vampires they kill and fudging their numbers just because they're siblings. And in that, woven in is the language of like martial arts cinema and anime moments, which were all great. So it's like, I love that.
Scott Adkins is that dude that I really wish Toei would just go like, can we just borrow you for like one season of Kamen Rider or Super Sentai. That's it. Just one season. That's just
Yes.
one season.
I
would
I
love
would
that.
watch that.
I
I
would
would watch
watch
that.
that so hard. But also talking about like the story of visual cinema, and I'm kind of gonna loop this back into another thing you love. I just recently rewatched The Harder They Fall. And
Oh
if
yeah.
that is not the most dynamic Western movie I have ever seen in my entire life, and that is a big thing to say about Western movies.
It does stuff with color, fam. Like
Yeah.
that's the grade on that movie is gorgeous. Like, and I don't. This movie's been out for years, so if this is a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. But like, it is a movie featuring almost, I believe, entirely black cowboys.
Yeah.
With the singular exception of the one time they go to white people town, and the whole town is white, white sand, like shades of white in the sand, shades of white in the paint. But the most
Like
wild thing
visually,
to me
like
about that,
visually,
visually it's white,
bleach.
but the wild thing about it is that it's all like there's like 74 different shades of white in that set design because they wanted to give it dimension, even though like because they still wanted to sell a good looking set, even if all of the color was just white, which is wild. Like that's so much detail put into a set design to communicate one extremely sledgehammer obvious idea that I'm
looking at whoever was the director of photography on that one, because they really they made bland interesting to look at.
Yes,
that's what they did.
It was so good.
It's kind of like what we're saying is that when it comes a traditional Western is always gray, it's yellow, there's browns, that's it. But this
Sepia
movie,
tone.
oh yes, sepia. It's the whole how American movies now say, hey, this is Mexico. But it's right now, it's that movie took that whole idea of like there is color out there in the world, and we're going to display it in front of everyone in the most spectacular ways. And it just nailed perfectly right off the bat. And not even just that, like the cinematography of the way cameras were placed was stuff you would never see in Western. Like the scene when Idris Elba's character gets broken out of the jail cell, that little tiny pen that he's inside of the train. And they just did that long truck shot of it started from the back, and then he does a whole thing where he asks like who here can drive this train, and that one guy raises his hand, he says kill everyone but him, and then they start this one take truck shot of everyone just cutting loose, killing everybody. The music is blaring, and they have it slow motion where everything around him is in slow motion, but he's walking all normally, and it's just a visual display for the eyes, that stuff you would never see in a Western movie. It's kind of like what Matrix did for action movies in the 2000s by doing stuff in it that you would never expect in a Western movie.
Lakeith Stanfield dying in silence while Black Skin Mile plays for a solid minute of just like a long shot of him walking out of this door and falling over was just like, ooh, okay, we're doing good shit with this movie. God damn.
It was, when you watch that movie, you can see the love letter to various other directors of Western movies. Like you see the blueprint of other movies in that movie. And it's kind of like what we're saying is that it is telling a Western story, but people of color, which was stories that we never got before, and it was great that we finally got it.
So there were two cinematographers on The Harder They Fall. It's Mihai Malamare Jr. and Sean Bobbitt. So credit where credit is due. Those people did amazing things with photography and composition.
Yes,
they did. Also, fun fact, the director for that movie, James Samuel, that was his first feature.
That was his first feature.
He was his first feature. I think he did music videos prior. There's like an interesting trend recently of like people doing music videos and moving into film. Like this, the guy who did Hard to Fall, the director for Sinners is a Filipina who did like I want to say Sucker by the Jonas Brothers. That was her. She did the direction on that music video before she did like I think Black Panther 2 and a bunch of other like movies, and which is why she's working with Coogler now. But there's a lot of like interesting thing happening with people who like understand the language of music and timing and are using that intentionally
Oh, yeah.
in film, like in a way that is not unheard of, but is an interesting thing we're trending towards, which I really like.
John Singleton, one of the goats of American cinema and African American community. The dude did a bunch of music videos before he did the movies that he did. And if you watch his movies, you see that he did music videos. He knows about music timing. He knows about musicality and everything, and how a music can change and cue off various scenes. And that is a really good skill to have, I think, in film production.
Yeah, rhythm, it turns out, is really good to have when you're doing anything visual.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked about it for like, I don't know, the past 10 minutes at this point. Totally. But John, one of the things that I really appreciate you about it, as a creator, is that you really know how to tell stories.
Yes,
I've been in tables with you. I've seen you in GM things. I've seen you as a player at various TTRPG tables, and you tell some really, really great stories. The thing that we have been tiptoeing around is that you have built a brand about yourself, and most people, when you bring up your handle, will think one of two things, I think. And I'm really hoping that
curious to see what these two are for you.
Okay.
I know what one is. I don't know what the second.
I'm really hoping that you will be able to that you'll share a little bit of how you came to landing with this. But one is the yeehaw of it all.
Oh, no, yes.
And the filmmaking aspect. I know you had, like, in our conversations in the past, you talked about being in film and production and all that stuff. So I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit about these topics and why you love these things and how we can share that love with people listening.
Yeah. So I'll cover the filmmaking first, because I think that's one that's become a little less interesting or a little less rare nowadays. I think there's a lot more people from film and theater who have really started to come into, like, especially like the TTRPG space, which is sort of where the microcosm of my reputation is, right? But when APs first really started, there were like two, right? There was like the early days of Legendary Entertainment Subsidiary Geek and Sundry's Critical Role. I say it like that for a reason. But also, there was also Legendary Subsidiary Geek and Sundry's Titan's Grave, right? Which were two very different shows. And so, like, I was never really, that's not true. I've dabbled with streaming, like, as a streamer personally, right? But it's never really been a thing I've been super interested in. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I like having conversations with people who can talk to me, and the whole, like, I play a video game and chat to you on through text while you text me just felt you're like, I don't like it, right?
You're wiggled out by the whole parasocial relationship of it all.
It's not even that. Like, even if I wasn't, right, which, like, there are some things about parasociality that I'm not super, like, interested in. It's not even really wigged out. It doesn't do anything for me. But, like, even if it didn't, it's a weird conversational format, right? To be like I don't, like, imagine, right, if you had a conversation and you're texting your friend and they're only responding with voice notes.
Oh, yeah. No,
right?
Yeah.
like that's the weirdest conversation I can think of. Like, pick one, like, talk or don't, right? Like, I don't, no, none of this makes nonsense.
It totally, whenever I see people do streaming, I feel like y'all are built differently than me.
Yeah.
Because the idea of just sitting down, playing a game, and you're expecting me to talk also while I'm playing this game, like, bro, I'm locked in. I am not talking. I am too.
Yeah, like, I sat down to play a video game. I didn't sit down to talk to you, right? Like, that was really the problem. It wasn't even so much parasociality, so much as I didn't want to talk to you while I played a video game. So streaming was kind of irrelevant to me at that point.
Yes. I run into this issue. Yes. That was
right. It's like, at some point I'm like, no, I actually sat, like, I am an adult with a job, and I do want to play a game for fun, which means I don't want to make it another job. I'm good, thank you. And, like, I understand, hey, that's not everybody. It's just that's the way it feels for me. But when Critical Role was first starting, that was it was like a streamer game, right? It's since gone a little weirdly middle of the road ever since COVID, where they've been pre-recording and now they just kind of play. It's it's changed a little bit. But when it first started, it was a bunch of people streaming, and then the chat was there, right? And that was like, I don't know, whatever, fine. And then, but Titan's Grave was like 3 hours of pre-recorded format cut down into 40 minutes an episode, which is like the standard editing time, really, when you think about it. But for me, getting to, like, as someone who came in from, like, I did background work for, like, movies, I am technically SAG eligible if I ever wanted to do that. But that would require probably moving and or learning to drive, and I live in a major city, so I don't have to. But there, like, the cinematic language of what Titan's Grave was doing was something that was really exciting for me, because not only was it a pre-recorded session, because they had pre-recorded and they were editing, they could add fun little graphics later. So every time, like, dice rolls popped up, you would get a little lower thirds thing with like everybody's names on it. It would be like boop, 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 and you would see all the dice rolls, so you wouldn't have to just, like, guess what everyone got. And it meant, like, but it meant the focus of the game was different, right? Because for something that's live streamed, seeing someone roll a die and get a 20 or a 1, if you're playing the good old dragon game, is like part of the big draw of the excitement of watching someone stream. There's a reason why the big box of Doom that D20 uses is so fun to watch, right? But after a certain point, I've realized, for me, it feels a lot like coming home, tucking my tennis bag in the closet, and then sitting down to watch someone play tennis. Like, I could just be doing that myself, right? For me, that's kind of where I draw the line. I'm not really like, someone rolling a die in a pre-recorded format doesn't excite me that much anymore, just because, like, I have no emotional attachment to you. I don't know who you are as a person. Like, I'm glad you succeeded. Like, it feels kind of like it feels like watching a sports team I don't know, right? Like, I don't understand football. Like, I see the number went up. That's great.
It's kind of like, you've been the player for the very long time, and you've won all your championships, but now, and you retire, and it's like, hey, why don't you ever watch other people play your game? Because, like, I've done it already. Why do I need to watch it?
Yeah, like, if I was still interested in doing that, like, I would watch it just to kind of keep in the of what's going on. And I do. I watch a lot. I do still watch some straight, like, a lot of AP content, just to kind of see who's in the space and, like, to know what's going on. Like, I fully met somebody on, like, Hinge who, like, they were talking about their hobbies, and I was like, oh wait, are you? And then I named them, and they were like, how the fuck do you know that? And I was like, because I'm in the TTRPG AP space, and I know your show.
Gotta be so bizarre.
I was like, I just know who you are already. Like, that was, and they were like, that's wild. And I was like, yeah, I kind of float around still. Like, I don't do a whole lot as much, like, big projects anymore fast. Because I don't, like, again, my career sort of took off in the last 2 years. I have to have that as a job now, and so I, like, am doing that. And now this stuff is, like, it goes at the speed which I go, and depending on how much money I put into it, if the money is 0, it goes at the speed of we get it done when it's done. Like, I still keep an eye on what's going on, because I like to see what people are doing. It's one of the reasons I like D20, because they innovated so much in the recorded format,
right?
That people are like, oh, we could do that.
Yeah, so to condense that down, you are more interested about the people and what they're doing in their performance and their talent and all that stuff, as opposed to the mechanics. You're more tied to the narrative. Whereas, so if you're watching something like Crit Roll, right?
Sure.
If you aren't invested in those people, or you're not invested in the story, why else are you
exactly
watching? And so the format that you strive for, this format that you look out for, is when people are just really good at the production.
It's
of it,
not
right?
even really good. It's just that there are, like, this is the big difference, right? Is that in between, the thing that I like about things like D20 and Titan's Grave is that the moments in between, getting from story beat to story beat, that are interesting and have people interacting in, like, fun and really great storytelling ways, is way shorter when it's pre-recorded, right? Because it's like, anybody who knows, you sit around a table, like, literally Corey, my partner, right, was just is running their first ever game of like D&D, and they sat down to do a session, and then they just messaged me at like 4 p.m. and was like, "Why is combat so long?" And I was like, "That's the game. You signed up for a tiny war game. I don't know what to tell you." But that means that like there was a session which everyone was like, "We all want to fight," and then they all realized we don't want to fight actually because it takes 4 hours, and now we've not done anything. And like there are ways, again, right? Like there are ways to sneak story into fights, right? Like that's the whole principle of martial arts movies, right? Is that the best ones tell story and aren't just punch fests.
Yes.
But that's a tricky thing to do if you don't have the experience of that language, right? Or if you're sitting through 4 hours of the slog and having to pay attention to 14 other things. So I think one of the things I really like about the pre-recorded stuff, which is what I tend to gravitate to nowadays, is that they cut out a lot of the like waffling where nothing happens. And get to and even the dice rolls, right? Even if you cut in between dice rolls, you're still getting to the next interesting dice roll and not the 7 or so minutes of like one player being like, "I don't remember any of my abilities. Hold on, I have to look it up on this Google Doc again. It's been a second." And then we can get past all of that and be like, "You're competent. Move on." Which
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you have a recommendation of something that does that well?
Ooh. I mean, I think I may know your answer, but I'm gonna.
What is something dope and rad right now in that regard?
I mean,
this is what you asked for, people. This is why we took a hiatus.
This is why yes, exactly. We come up with this new stuff. We come up with this new stuff to ask people.
I think this is going to be a stranger. My current favorite is clips of shows on YouTube Shorts. Right. Right. Okay. Because because that's one of the things, I'll watch a whole show. Don't get me wrong. I love the whole APs, but a lot of the really great interactivity moments are 1-minute chunks that you can that then lead into another 1-minute chunk.
You know,
and I it's a beat, right? It's a rhythm. So I love that if you can dial it down to a short, if you can dial down an interaction into a short and get me interested, that will hit me. Everything. I don't actually watch their show in full. Every short Legends of Evantris puts out is hysterical.
Yes.
There you fucking go. Funny, right?
Oh, they are hilarious.
They're really funny. Everything that I do, I watch D20 still, the new steampunk one. Was it Cloudward Ho?
Cloudward Ho,
right?
Yeah.
Love that. Zach Oyama playing the oldest, least time for any of this shit Asian cowboy prospector man. Perfect. I love it. I was perfect, oh, that's for me. Choice. Okay, good.
That is for you 100%.
1000%, yeah. So I really love pretty much all the stuff D20's put out. Has been great.
Yeah.
I love
you just mentioned Legends of Evantris.
Legends of Evantris has their short stuff. AVANTRIS. The shorts they put out, hysterical.
Check them out.
Otherwise, I have a little bit of bias. I worked on the show, God Killer Last Hope, which was Transplant RPG's in studio thing, which was hysterical because fun story about that, because I said, hey, I know you guys are shooting locally. Do you need anybody to help come out on set? And they were like, well, yeah, we'd have an extra person. We can't pay you or anything because we already have all our budget. I was like, look, you are functionally shooting a 5, 10, 20-minute drive from me. I'm just going to hang out with friends and I'll shoot some photos for you and you can use it. I don't care. I have a 4K camera. I should play around with it a little bit more rather than this fucking webcam thing I've got it set up as, right? I should use this camera. It's very expensive. I should use it for something else sometime. And then they were like, cool, here's where we're shooting. And I was like, wow, that is... Then when Connie sent me the address, I was standing at the train station I take to go to work, and I pulled my phone out and I did this.
Because for those of you who can't see that, John held out a phone.
I just turned around because the place they were shooting at was across the road from where I was currently standing.
So his screen was hey, I'm right here.
I just sent them a picture of me being like, oh yeah, this place. And they were like, how? And I was like, it's in my town. I know where it is. You're right there. Which was it was fantastic. And it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun. I really hope it makes more people do some more in studio stuff.
That's another shout out. Go check out Translator. They just celebrated their 5 years.
Yeah. They've been doing it for a really long time. They've been doing it. Yeah.
Sorry, Wally, go ahead.
So going back to what you're saying about use of how APs deliver content 1-minute shorts and everything. Do you think I hate talking about TikTok, but I'm talking about TikTok. Do you think because of platforms like TikTok and YouTube now
Sure.
doing YouTube Shorts. Do you think that not only making bite-sized bits of APs and putting that out there as to get people to draw into it, but also what Legends of Virtus does is making animated shorts out of those clips and then putting it out there also gets the word out? Do you think that because of YouTube and YouTube Shorts, do you think that's very beneficial for the AP space?
I think both of those formats I think are really great. Like, again, it's a marketing thing, right? Like, if you're looking for people, you're looking to grab people to like look in your thing. It is a chance for you to put the best parts of your thing up without any context and just be like, this is what we've got. Come check it out. I will say, if you have the budget to do religious advantages doing and hire someone to do, animatics of your stuff. I don't think there is anybody who has done a show who has been like, man, if only I had animatic money for this. Like, I don't think nobody goes into a thing and is like, oh man, if only someone made a TV show based on this thing that we did. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't,
like I started this podcast.
Blades in the Dark. Where was my TV show languishing in production hell?
Someone does an animatic of one of our clips.
Yeah. I mean, that would be lovely, right? Like,
that'd be great. Like, I think someone took a clip from our show and turned it into an animatic.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. People out there.
Later on we'll figure something out. We'll give you some sort of voice line that you can just be me with holding 2 butt-end revolvers beating WallE and Kappa over the head. We'll figure out a line you can do that. I hear you. I'm giving you this gift later. But yeah,
like, I totally understand what you're saying. Like with the content and all that stuff, sort of presenting itself. Like every social media platform exists to hype up another social media.
Oh, totally is. Yeah.
Right. But I think the really cool and fun thing that we do here in AP and TTRPG, and I mean kind of beyond, is like you said, highlighting the best parts of it. And like 90s toy commercials, 80s and 90s toy commercials, you take a look at that thing and then you go and experience it for yourself. You go and save up your money or ask your parents or whatever to purchase that thing for you, and then you go and engage. And I think that's what the shorts, the TikTok and little tiny snippets do. It's like the commercial for the actual thing.
Yeah, like how many people watched, what was it the Exandria Calamity is the one that Brendan
EXU,
EXU Calamity. How many people watched that, right? I don't know the numbers, but I would be willing to bet a little bit, I'm not rolling in money, that like a bunch of people went and watched that show after they saw like the one clips of Brendan being Asmodeus with Luis and like the interactions between that paladin and that demon and that god. And I think that like that is a thing that you're able to, if ABC is putting clips of old shows like Grimm on YouTube, you should do it too. Is all I'm saying.
What's even wilder, we have officially hit
or
the
whoever
point.
the hell owns Grimm, I don't actually know.
We've hit the point now where studio YouTube channels are now putting out like the YouTube clips that say, oh, these are so-and-so clips that I watch when I'm feeling down. I thought this was some random fan account made, but no, this was the actual channel putting out this marketing. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? It's if you watch like the Crunchyroll's like little scenes on YouTube, whoever is writing those was us 10 years ago, right? Yeah. Like that was like fully weeb, like fucking when Freerin did a thing, and there's a bit where like one of you, like they go to fight a demon they sealed away 80 years ago and are just now ready to deal with him as a problem when he immediately wakes up before he does anything. And like the subtitle of it was like when your pro skill becomes the new meta. And I was like, dear God. Like, okay, cool. This is where we're at now. All right.
A lot of these Crunchyroll clips have been getting so unhinged in the titles, and it is so good.
They know their audience. They know their audience.
They do. Cringy weebs who play League of Legends. That's like your audience. Like, you got it. We're here.
Oh man. But we have to address another thing, John. We have to bring it up. Yeah. What is the origin of the yeehaw?
Okay, so this
is your brand. This is your aesthetic, and
you have your profile photo
Yeah.
You as like some noir cowboy.
And it's
It's
not
true.
and it's not even a thing of like, oh, when you get to know me, you'll find out this is about me. No, this is like on your sleeve kind of thing. You present this about.
Yeah, there was a great moment.
Your business card is a poker chip.
Yeah.
Well,
you literally carry around a poker set that you can just flip open like some 1920s like snake oil salesman.
You have revolver themed dice. Like I cannot separate.
I have like 2 revolver themed dice actually. Like
I can't separate John
on.
the person from Ryomasa the kid. You know, I can't do that. Like they're one and the same person.
No, I mean, good.
This is it.
So,
I have been craving this lore.
Yes.
I've been
so
wanting.
for reference, set number 1 is a swing out cylinder type.
So John is holding it looks like the barrel, like the cylinder and the barrel.
It's literally a brass cylinder like of a revolver, but for dice, and the dice are
the dice go
also
inside of where the bullets
yeah,
go.
they do
Little
exactly. They go inside
dice.
Yep.
I've seen those. I've seen those around, and
that was the first one I got, and it is
must be
not.
satisfying.
It's not the good one.
Oh, it's not the good one.
That's not the good one.
That's not the good. I got one that was better.
That must be the greatest fidget toy ever, I bet.
It is extremely spinnable. It's great.
Yeah.
It spins. Now, however,
It's a nice table fidget. It's
Yeah.
good.
No way. Okay, so
I don't know if you can hear this, but it does click.
Oh no, we got the first one.
Okay, hold on.
but then your noise gate took it out.
Oh,
I think we spin it while you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we just kind of like do that. That'll probably
that
register.
is satisfying.
Yeah.
But it clicks open like a top break, like a Webley.
Oh my god, it's a transformer, y'all.
Okay, so pretty much what John just showed is the fact that they just have like the back half of a revolver as a dice roller on their desk, and that is so dope.
It's got a little switch on the back, and it clips open like a Webley top break.
That is so cool.
If you want to be more Western, or a Schofield, right?
I was just for those people who are curious and interested, and definitely not going to buy this once the recording ends.
Yeah,
where did you get it? Can you share that information?
I can. I got it. It was a Kickstarter about a few months ago that I found. I'll pull up a link for you so you can put it in the description if you want.
If you're interested in what we are talking about, or just curious and want to see it, we'll put it in the links in the description.
Yeah, it was extremely cool. So it's actually really funny you asked me about this now, because I was literally talking to my brother earlier today, and we were catching up because I'm gonna be in the city where he lives, the weekend. Cool. And he was like, "Hey, I got something really cool I want to show you." And I was like, "Great, awesome." So he sends me like a YouTube trailer. It's an actual play. So he's doing his first actual play, which is really cool. It's called The Good, the Bad, and the Arcane.
Oh my goodness.
This is a family thing, and I'm so excited to tell you this.
Okay, I have to know this. Now I have to know.
This one's deep.
Were you aware that your brother had the yeehaw bug too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that means this is formative. This is in the household when you were growing up.
1,000%. So when I was growing up, my dad was into like a couple very specific pieces of media. He was into like Mighty Mouse.
Yes. Hell yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And he was into John Wayne westerns.
I think our dads might have been the same dads, but
so maybe. So that was part of our. So I grew up in New England, like the northeastern U.S., and when I was growing up, there was a really interesting circuit of like very specific theme parks in like New Hampshire, Vermont.
Oh, yes.
One of them was Storyland, which was like this sort of storybook fairy tale themed one, and one of them was, and I shit you not, Six Gun City in New Hampshire.
Oh, that's
like
rad.
We're talking like this was a full cowboy Six Gun City. It was a full cowboy theme park. They did reenactments in the main street with like the cap guns and the blanks. I got my first set of like cap gun tin revolvers from there with a holster in a package that I bought. That my dad bought for me, because my mom actually isn't a huge fan of guns, and so like that's always been really interesting to navigate. But like that was a thing. Like my brother and I used to spin like as kids with each other. Like that was what we used to do as a hobby for a little while. So this has been a long time coming in terms of I'm actually surprised it took him this long. That
it feels like when you were explaining that also unlocked a core memory of mine, because when you said that, I'm like, I remember one of the other theme parks they had, which was Land of Make Believe, which was up in New York, which was up in upstate New York, and it was part of that. And the Land of Make Believe was a more fairy tale thing and a more holiday oriented, because it was mainly focused. There was a bunch of like Red Baron plane rides. There was a little farm area, but the big draw for it was Santa's Workshop, which was a all year round.
We had a Santa's Village, exactly.
It was a year round Santa's Village that was there, and the whole gimmick was, when you'd walk in through this gigantic fireplace, and when you'd walk through the fireplace, you'd end up at Santa's Village in the North Pole, and it was inside this big gigantic warehouse that you would walk into, and it looked beautiful. But
as it was so weird. That must be so like the best thing ever.
It blew my mind.
Magical.
It was like me getting isekai. This is what I felt like being isekai as a kid. That was it. That was
Not
me.
The Santa isekai. Oh no.
Okay, that might go hard though.
I mean, has it been done? It's probably been done.
There actually is an anime coming out about a guy who transforms into Santa. I am look it up.
No.
Look it up. But
we're looking it up.
Yeah, look that up.
Okay, yeah.
So pretty much those big frontier towns were your intro into the yeehaw life.
Yeah, so you went to a theme park and were forever changed.
pretty much. And then like, also quick plug, if you guys want to pick up one of those, pick up one of these, they are currently on sale. I found out when I was looking them up.
Well, we will put a plug in that will be useful for notes.
That will be useful for us, and hopefully maybe they're still doing a sale when this comes out.
Yeah,
maybe. That's but so like there was one of those two things, right? There was the theme park that kind of did it. That was like, oh, okay. But also like, I mean, man, quick draw quick draw applies to a katana just as it does to a gun, right? And so that was kind of the problem, was that like that same aesthetic of like two people facing off at a distance, just hands slightly off a weapon about to do something. It hit me both with revolvers, but also as a person, like a kid who studied martial arts at the time, right?
Yeah.
And was really into like, the other thing that my dad really liked, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So like, all of those things together, you kind of end up where I end up at that point. Like, yeah.
The quick draw is such a, it's such a what's it called? Pure form.
It is
of narrative storytelling.
There's
you got your 3-act structure, you got tension building, you got like, if it's like, you're right, if it's firearms, or if it's swords, or if it's, I don't know, like punching, whatever the equivalent is, like there is, the setup involves understanding who these people are, what their skill level is, and trying to see who would come out on top, right? It's such a useful,
it's a very
narrative tool.
It's a very iconic like trope used in any kind of piece of visual media. Like here's a question I got.
Okay.
What are yours, like your personal favorite quick draw moments?
Okay.
As I know mine. I know mine exactly.
Okay, you share and I will think.
Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star is hands down my favorite example of the quick draw moment. It was used in the movie, and it was used in the first episode of the series. It is a scene where that one dude named Z, who kidnaps the little girl that ends up rolling around with Kenshiro, and he's holding her above her body. He's like, if you take one more step, I am going to break her in half. I'm going to break her in half. And Kenshiro like takes a step. He's like, one more step, I'm going to do it. And it's just a flicker of his hand, and he slaps the guy in the chest, right? And then the guy's like, I feel nothing, and then Kenshiro walks away and says the famous line, "Omae wa mo shindeiru," and the guy's like, "What do you mean?" And there's that pause, and then he starts expanding and he explodes, and it's that iconic Fist of the North Star kind of like I punch you and you blow up. It is such a great moment, and they do it so many times in the series that it came like my personal favorite of like a quick draw scene.
That's really good, and I think inspired a lot.
Oh, totally. I mean, like if it wasn't for Fist of the North Star, we wouldn't have Joe's. We wouldn't have Jojo.
Without that, we don't get any energy duel in Dragon Ball Z. You don't get like Vegeta versus Goku.
Yeah.
Man, I think my favorite one is the duel in Halo Legends.
Okay. I just finished Halo Legends, so I get this now.
Okay, cool, awesome.
I finally get this now.
We are gonna talk about Halo eventually, WallE, especially on this podcast. But for those of you that don't know, Halo, the Master Chief, the video game, they put out a series of shorts called Halo Legends, and one of the shorts similar to like your Star Wars, the Star Wars Visions shorts. One of the shorts in this one was called The Duel, and it was produced by some Ishikawa or someone. It was and it follows the life of a day in the life of this alien in on another planet, going through some really, really difficult, mob boss type drama. And it ends in a duel, and I think it very perfectly. They use energy swords and stuff, and it was really cool. That was one of the first times I was like, "Oh my goodness, they did Western in space." So yeah, I think that's one of my favorite. Like, watch that one. It for me, it perfectly encapsulates what the duel, what the quick draw narrative structure looks like.
Yeah, that nails it there too.
Yeah. So I've got a couple for you. So one comes out of The Harder They Fall, which is an actual legitimate quick draw in terms of as we think about it with a revolver, with firearms. Yeah. It's the scene again right before the bit I was talking about with Black Skin Mile by CeeLo Green. Blew my mind when I found that out.
All things.
It's Lakeith Stanfield's Cherokee Bill, and who has just shot a man in the back, like from behind, and gunned him down, and is faced dead on with Danielle Deadweiler's Cuffy, who calls him out and is just like, "Are you gonna shoot me in the back or cheat?" And he fully, and like for the first time, and he's been kind of cheating this whole movie. Like he's just like, right, like that's the whole, like this is a character who does not care about the honor of this thing. But when he's called out, when she calls him out to his face, he commits for the first time to a legitimate quick draw, does it, is slower, and dies. Yeah. And that, like, I don't even care about the fast, I don't care about the technique of it, but the fact that this one quick draw in the movie is only possible because somebody called out a character so hard they had no choice but to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Like they just hit them so hard where they exist as a person that they had to commit to an action that killed them eventually, which was like, that's good storytelling with a quick draw for one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she hits him with the Beck worthless faster, and I was like, God damn, this is so cool. Because he shot him and he shot and killed Jim Beckworth and cheated the count earlier in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful wrap up on that.
Oh no, yeah.
The second one is not technically a quick draw in that it does not, the violence continues long after the initial second, but it is the first Ip Man done again in the dojo, where he steps up, and that tension is someone stepping up and squaring up as like people fan out in front of you, and you're just waiting. That dojo scene to me is one long arc of a quick draw, right? Because it's like that is a person who's like seen someone kill down, it's like no, my turn, and steps up, and it's just
the amount of YouTube video essays about that one scene is staggering. You can make there's so many hours of content dedicated to that one scene.
Just that scene alone, it tells such a great story that has been building up this entire time in the movie, and you don't even have to watch the full movie. You can just watch that scene. It's like, I know what this movie is about.
I get it. Fascism is bad, and this man has snapped. Like, we're there.
Yep.
But I think it's one of the things that's really great because it tells such a great story of like even down to the literal like bloody knuckles, blood on his hands imagery at the end of like, this is the first time this man has bled in a fight, and it's not because anybody hit him, it's because he was hitting them so hard he broke his own skin on their face, and you're like, oh, he's done. Okay, cool, wild. But like that's one, and then the other one is, I think the character's name is Dolph, but his very, very short-lived bar brawl fight against Assam in Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just like, that man's very big and he's extremely racist and doesn't like you, and he's like, yeah, I get it. And then they start the fight, the man runs up and he just kicks him in the head and he goes down. It was like, oh, okay, we're here.
God. Warrior is such a good show.
It was so good of a show. I loved that show.
Oh, it's very good. I need to watch it again. But yeah, those are like my big recent three, I think.
That's good. That's good.
Those
I'm gonna offer one more. This is purely just because it's silly, but I think it's very basic. It's silly, but I think it's tied to a project that I think people are going to be looking at in the next several years, just purely because it's James Gunn. The Suicide Squad, not the shitty one, the more recent one.
Right?
It's the Idris Elba
across John Cena.
Yeah, the Idris Elba squaring off against John Cena's. Hold on, what's Idris Elba's character?
Deadshot and Peacemaker.
Well, not Deadshot. He's
not Deadshot.
It's Peacemaker and oh man,
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Bloodsport. Yeah,
Bloodsport.
Who was supposed to be Deadshot if the previous movie was not made.
Yeah, so it's Idris Elba's Bloodsport versus John Cena's Peacemaker, and they shoot each other, but Idris Elba wins this because he used a smaller bullet. Not necessarily because he was faster, but his bullet went through John Cena's bullet, and it's a callback to their sort of rivalry throughout the whole movie of John Cena's character being the better the better assassin, the better killer, and Idris Elba learning from that.
I like when a fight, not even just a quick draw, just a fight scene in general is a big loop back to something, not even a fight, but just something that was mentioned far earlier in whatever piece of media you've been watching.
Absolutely. I got two more because it's me.
Okay, throw them at me.
Every single quick draw moment in The Quick and the Dead.
Every single one. Yes.
Every single one tells a completely different story based on the two people involved, and it's if you want to see storytelling in a nutshell done across a quick draw scenes from the Quick and Dead compilation, you will see it. There's that, and then speaking of very similarly funny ones, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes.
The final, specifically the final one, and like the two last ones that come up are done in such a way that, because that movie is very fast, right? It's like 7 short films in one film. But it calls back to like specifically the idea of two people being like, you need to count Nasser. And just being like, all right, well then you've signed your own death. The first person to ask if you need a thing is dead. Or the person who has to answer, right? The person who thinks that they don't need it is the one who dies. And that's so great. Just like, and also just it tells a really fun story about like being like getting older, getting slower, and how you get replaced inevitably as time rolls on. That was like, ooh, okay, fascinating. But yeah, very good.
Seriously, like again, you can use the narrative device to tell or cap off any sort of story. It's a really great payoff.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm glad we shared this. This is the unexpected but good.
They're gun musicals. when
you
when the talking is over, pull out the gun, right? Like when the talking is over, sing, right? Legit, like that's what good fight movies are, right?
Action
Is like the minute
scenes,
they're action musicals, the moment talking is no longer possible, you punch.
That's why I love the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yes.
No,
yes.
you cannot tell me those movies are not just bad action musicals. There is in one of the movies, Vin Diesel said with his whole chest, after taking a crowbar and squaring down with Jason Statham, and says, "You only know one thing about a street fight. What? The street always wins." And he takes said crowbar, stabs it into the ground, kicks it into the ground, and then causes the overpass they are standing on to crumble underneath them. One man did this.
They're superheroes.
Just one man.
They're superheroes.
The
They're all Captain America.
The Fast and the Furious did one of my favorite. It did one of my favorite things to ever happen in video game history. The Fast and the Furious started out thinking it was Saints Row 1 and 2. Now it is Saints Row 3, 4, and whatever from here on out, right? Yeah. It is not. It is no longer Grand Theft Auto. No, right? Like that's my favorite part about those games is they diverged so hard because Saints Row was like, well, we can't compete with GTA.
You know what? So we got to do something different. We're just gonna make a dubstep gun, and that's.
We're gonna make a dubstep gun and a dildo bat. That's what we've got, and we all went, yeah, okay, sure.
I will go even further and loop it back to what we said earlier. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift is the greatest initial D animated movie, live action movie ever. What?
You're not wrong.
Is it?
Though.
Is it?
No, you're not wrong.
Let's
also I would also argue that the Speed Racer live action movie is also a initial D movie because it's not really Speed Racer.
But the Speed Racer live action movie is so good, and it is
wildly underrated.
I think I was about to say the same thing. I think it's the most I think honestly, it needs to be in museums. That should be on people's film curriculums for college.
It's the same way like anyone who thinks Marvel is successful now needs to watch Blade.
Yes.
Right. Like you need to understand that these are movies that walked, and in some cases, Blade specifically, these are some movies that ate, so that Marvel could do whatever the hell they were doing, so that Marvel could do what they were doing. Like Battle Angel Alita could exist, right? Like those are all the same.
We don't get the MCU without Spider-Man.
No.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man. We don't get Sam Raimi Spider-Man without Blade.
No,
I stand by that. If it wasn't for Blade, we would not have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Oh,
we wouldn't because he did Blade Trinity and he had no interest in doing comic book movies before Blade Trinity. And if you watch Blade Trinity, he's basically playing Deadpool with that movie.
And also kind of phoning it in because he's not really sure he wants to be.
Yeah,
exactly, and also that started why Wesley Snipes hates him.
Yeah, which is really kind of funny to me because like, how do you get into a movie that has had Jeff Bridges, Wesley Snipes, and Jessica Biel in it, and you're like, I don't know if I want to be here. It has Dominic Purcell in that movie. Like, what are you?
It had Triple H. Triple H was in that movie, and you don't want to be in a movie with Triple H?
Ron Perlman was in the second one. Donnie Yen was in the second one. What are you doing, fam? Like,
the second one was peak. It was peak of the franchise.
Okay. I'm not gonna name any names, but have you not been part of the table in an actual play production, and you're like, I kind of don't want to be here, despite the table being absolute banger of a cast?
I mean, yeah, but then I don't say I don't go. Right? Right? Like that's the thing, right? Like that's here's the thing, right? Is like how I understand that, but how are you gonna say yes and then show up and then be like, I don't know if I want to be here actually? like
there's sometimes when you sign up for an actual play, you do all the work and everything, and you end up like Will Smith in the Suicide Squad picture where he's like, I don't want to be here.
I thought you were gonna say, speaking of westerns, I thought you were gonna say you were gonna be like Will Smith in Wild Wild West, where he passed over. Fun film story for viewers who don't know. He passed over Neo in the Matrix for Wild Wild West.
He knew. I think he knew.
Honestly, I think it worked better for both of them, frankly. I think those movies suited Keanu and Will Smith better than the other way around could ever do. But
if anyone is going to be a time traveler, it's going to be those two people. It's going to be Keanu Reeves and Will Smith, and they knew. I think they just knew.
They 100% know.
Yeah. Absolutely wild. Yeah.
Okay. We talk. I mean, we can go about this for hours. That's why we brought you on. I'm gonna do the thing where I put us back on the train tracks.
Okay.
You are a storyteller. You are a creator in the space. I know you are extremely busy, but you are passionate about the things that you do. Again, part of the brand new, better than ever R&D is we also want to share what our guests, what you are working on that you think other people can find joy and love out of, and then kind of talk about it, share some stuff about that process, about what, you know, brought you to it and why you stuck with it, so that we have a little bit of a behind the scenes of whatever you are producing that is rad and dope.
Yeah, so right now, again, I'm taking it pretty slow at the moment, just because a lot of life stuff going on, you know, in terms of like career and personal life. But I think the two things I really want to shout out right now are I just did some writing for the recently completed Kickstarter for Gehenna Gaming's Eldritch Automata, which was super cool. Yeah, I got to write some stuff for that. I can't tell you what it is yet, but I did write. My name is on the Kickstarter, I think, somewhere on the team, so I can say that at least. That's been really cool. I've done some recent stuff for Pathfinder. I did Howl of the Wild, where they let me write guns, which was great. Yes. So
of course.
Yeah. That was literally half of what I submitted on my writing sample. I was like, here is a short story, a small short story I've written, and also yeehaw content. And so they were like, cool. So I wrote the Beast Gun section for that. So we did announce. They also announced the Lost Omens Draconic Codex, which is a whole like dragon supplement for Pathfinder 2e. I can't tell you what I wrote on that either, but I was on that, which was cool.
I think I'd like to think that I know you well enough that when I read it, I will know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm really excited to see if you do. That's a fun little game for us. Actually, we'll do a fun little game of read it and tell me what you think. Which one you think I did? I will say, I will warn you ahead of time. There is a red herring. There is one in there that looks like it should have been me. It is not.
I don't need it to be easy. I want a challenge.
No, I'm going to let you know ahead of time, because I think it's fair play to be like, there is a red herring. I'd be curious if you could spot both what I did and the red herring.
And the red herring. Okay.
And the red herring.
We'll definitely take you up on that challenge.
I also just recently signed on to write the modern like gun fu section of Daniel Kwan's Wandering Blades with +1 EXP. So we're putting rules for like, oh my god, what's the genre? It's something bloodbath. What's the John Woo? Oh my god, what's the name of the genre?
What, like
blanking.
The Boiling Point movies that he did, like the Boiling Point, Hard Boiled, like
like the Chow Yun Fat ones.
I would call those the Boiling Point movies, like the Boiling Point, Hard Boiled.
I don't. There's a name for it. It's something to do with like blood ballet, heroic bloodshed.
That's good. Okay,
I got there.
I like that. That's a fun
heroic bloodshed.
Heroic
bloodshed. Yeah. So we're doing stuff like inspired like by Warriors. We're doing stuff inspired by the Walled City series. That one.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we're drawing on for those things. Well, so I'm really excited to see what happens with that.
So of the things that you can talk about, do you want to expand on any of that? Do you want to sort of do a deep dive?
Well, I can tell you a little bit about. I can tell you a little bit about both. So Daniel and I, when he reached out, we were both really talking about like the gun fu genre, heroic bloodshed stuff. Mm-hmm. So it is a little bit less Western for me, but it's more gun fu, more modern day. So like if you took heroic bloodshed movies and updated to like The Raid, right? That kind of thing.
So it's adjacent. It's like a maybe like a I don't know how to describe it.
It's a sidestep from the same place. So like we're going more towards like John Wick and CQB and like
or
those kind of tricks.
Less you're focusing less away from how Busha movies are, where the sword is an extension of the body, but you're focusing more. Gun. Yeah, the gun is the extension of the body. Yeah.
Cool. Exactly. So that kind of thing we're doing. We're working on. We're retooling and adding some extra, like some bonus stuff for if you want to play that kind of a game. With the sort of like Yangsha wandering swordsman class
Nice.
archetype. So doing stuff there. I'm really excited for that. And then for Eldritch Automata, for those of you who don't know, is a game about Eldritch horror and punching it with mechs.
Oh, I'm sold.
Hell yeah.
I am 100% sold.
Legitimately,
I am sold.
90% of the pitch we have is, have you seen Evangelion? It's that.
I was gonna say it sounds very like Evangelion. It sounds very Gurren Lagann, you know?
It sounds a lot like there was this one visual novel I remember from back in the day called Demon's Bane.
Oh my god!
Wow!
What?
Okay, so
deep cuts.
So there was this visual novel back in the day called Demon's Bane that got turned into like a visual novel game. They even did it in Super Robot Wars at one point. It was basically think of Cthulhu but with mechs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Every single Cthulhu monster is a mech of some form.
Were you the kind of like teenagers on the internet who found like Peter Moorbacher's Angelarium way back in the day? Okay, yeah.
I was that weird kid.
Okay. You're in mechs punching Vos is basically the whole point of Eldritch Automata. And
Very
we can
cool.
go. I'll send you a link later. But like, it's a lot of really interesting like angel art that this one guy did. It has now been compiled into like a book over time. But it's very vaguely unsettlingly human angel designs, which are really cool. I really love it. But yeah, that's kind of the general vibe we're going for on that, which has been a lot of fun. And then I guess if you are going to Gen Con, you might end up in a game I run out in Indianapolis. I'm going with Gehenna Gaming, both me and my partner do convention work with them. And I'm running I'm currently in the process of writing down so that way it's like finalized a module that you might get to run in, which is what if the slasher in your house was Truck-kun?
Okay.
It's a kids on bike supplement. The entire idea of it is that the powered character is a kid who got isekai'd the previous year in a truck accident and now comes back to help you beat the truck.
Oh, that is so great. I love that so much.
Okay, for those of you who don't know John, and this is exactly the kind of shit that like I've come to expect, but it blows me away every single time. This is so cool. This is so cool.
I remember. So there's another thing. Me and John are in a home game together. We're playing a fantastic game of Fabula Ultima together, and Fabula Ultima.
Yeah, Kappa came and kicked our ass once.
Yeah, Kappa came and kicked our ass once in that game. But when we were making the game, because the game is a very JRPG inspired game, and we were talking about characters, all of us, and John pulls me aside. Hey, WallE, listen, there's an option for me to be your character's Bankai. Do you want to do this? I was like, yes, we're doing this. And because that's the kind of stuff I expect you to do when you're doing any kind of creative, is that you try to find the most unique something in anything and you shine a light on it and you go, hey guys, this is why this thing is really, really cool and you should pay attention to it. And it's such a great skill you have.
It's not as I think is I'm gonna call myself it's not that cool. Really, before I was known for being a cowboy on the TTRPG space, the other thing I was known for was me just yelling, making more anime at anybody who would listen. And so I do it myself, right? Like legitimately one of my favorite moments is that, hey, I'll phrase it like this. Did you know that the anime glasses reflect in the dead of night in a hallway kind of looks like a pair of truck headlights? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
That is amazing.
That's all I'm going to say about that. But
oh my gosh.
I
hate you so much.
Like I said, this is the kind of stuff that I think is representative of the sort of just you take a small thing and then you follow that. You apply that to other things. It's really cool, like honestly.
Yeah, I mean really what it boils down to, I think, is if you're looking to kind of just make something not necessarily unique, but something that is really you, right? You just gotta latch onto something very, very silly and go, what if I treat it deathly seriously?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I think
right, like that's 90%. I think that's really 90% of it. Like we talk about confidence, we talk about all those things, and like the getting to be a creative person. But at the end of the day, like I really strongly believe that creativity is a choice. Like you're making a choice to do something, and whatever it is, just do that. Like if you make a choice, it could be bad. It could be truck kills you in your house is a bad sentence. Like it's not a good story, right? Like it sounds extremely terrible, actually. But two things really helped me do it. One is that it is terrible, but that means that there's some interesting, fun stuff you can do. That because when has anything been stopped any popular thing from being popular? It never has, and it never will. Who cares? And the second thing is, if it's good enough for Caleb City and his 80 billion followers, it's good enough for me. Like, you know, like I was in the middle of writing that so I ran it at PAX Unplugged last year, and I was in the middle of like doing the outline of it, and I saw he'd put out a short called "They Put the Truck in My House," and I went, damn. I'm on to something gold, dude. I see you. I respect you. Everyone will think I got this from you now, but I'm okay with that.
Oh man, I think that if you could pretty much describe your creative process, I think that is it right there.
Yeah,
you know, just take those big ugly risks.
I've been doing a lot of LARPing recently, and I was describing. We were talking about like what our playstyles in LARP were, and one of my friends was like, one of mine. They were talking about how like their play style is like really is like making sure like everyone's like managing everything, having a good time, and like really sort of like enjoying like collecting people and hurting them and making them do stuff. And I thought about it for a second. I said, I think mine is 2 lit Molotovs in each hand, running at something plot related that's flammable and important.
I feel like that's definitely you.
And that's how I make stuff. Is just there are no breaks. The truck is on fire and in your house, right? Like.
I'm getting so much like just little tiny bits of what this module was going to be.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And I want to play it now. I need it now. Oh my gosh.
You are on the One Shot Network.
Exactly. Listen here, Daddy One Shot. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Our buddy John has an amazing game they're putting out, and we think it would make a great one shot. So listen here, Daddy One Shot. If you're paying attention, just saying, John. You have been an absolute delight to talk to. I mean, I feel like you have so many things we could pick your brain even more, but we definitely don't want to take too much of your time. But before we go, would you say, is there something really dope or really rad that you would like to share out there with the world that you enjoy?
I really enjoy fight choreography at LARPs.
That's good.
So again, I've been LARPing a lot, and I think one of my favorite. I did a LARP back in March, and you get like they had a pretty good photographer on it. He did some amazing shots. And I am the kind of person who doesn't get a whole lot of atmospheric stuff, right? Because I am frenetically bouncing all over the place 90% of the time. Because again, ADHD, right? But there is a great shot of me getting my ass flattened into the ground by like a haymaker from someone who I've pissed off immensely. As they walk away, and I'm just on the ground. Like there's like a little tableau, and if you watch it, you could do a little stop motion of me doing this slowly down to the ground, boom, 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 as I get clotheslined. It's great. And I would say that I think really what it boils down to is, you know, to kind of take the things we were talking about is if you're not sure how to make a choice that's interesting, find a choice that ends up with you flat on the ground, because you don't know. You get up, and there's only walking away from there.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that. What do you think, Kappa?
I think that was pretty rad. That was pretty dope. It was a good one. That is such good advice to folks who are just not even in LARP, just in general. I think.
Yeah, I think in general, like if you're too concerned about succeeding, you're not thinking enough about doing the thing you want to succeed at. I think.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's
not creativity. That's business.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just life in general. Or like really focus on the thing you want to be doing first. Yeah. Right. Like you can learn marketing. It's not that hard. Yeah. Like it's time and effort and a lot of looking at things. It's not that hard at a certain level, but like, have something you want to market if you want to do that, right? Or just have something that is good and fulfilling for you.
Yeah, the rest will come later.
Yeah,
the rest
like don't
later.
worry about the numbers, don't worry about the metrics. Most people will get to that point and will make a decision to, but you should figure out if you want to be doing the thing you're marketing first anyway, right? So
nice. Right. Well, John, thank you so much for being on the show. Where can we find you before we end this? Where can we find you? You said exactly, because you said it's very hard to find you, but where exactly can we find you?
You can find John in this publication and this publication, and only that.
You can find the withered husk of my ex Twitter at RY0MASA. I believe it's set to private, so good luck. You can find the desiccated corpse that I occasionally live in on Blue Sky at Ryomasa, RYOMASA. I got it without the zero.
Nice.
I am at RY0MASA on, I think, TikTok and Instagram on the once a month I click that button that isn't, someone sent me a link and Discord won't open it, so now I have to open the app. And that's really about it. Like I said, I made a really conscious decision to just make social media obey my schedule, and that just means I see less of it nowadays, which I'm frankly okay with. Most of the people I want to talk to I have on Discord anyway.
Yeah,
is kind of where I ended up. So
I'm so glad that that we know you and that you're in our
me too,
general area.
Glad I know you, not glad that you know me. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, but I also just love being able to at least show off this treasure that you are.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us.
That's why we do. That's why we do this, to show off our pretty little friends that are our treasures in our lives.
That got weird.
That
got a little weird.
Nah, not one bit. No, not
that got like Bungo Stray Dogs, the one guy who turns people into gems for money, weird.
But yes, but on that note, once again, thank you all for tuning in to another fantastic episode of R&D with Kappa WallE. I am WallE, and of course, over there is my buddy Kappa.
What's up?
We will see you next time. Remember, y'all, stay dope, stay rad, and hug your pets. Later.